What would you say are the most ocean-related, the most significant advances, the most significant events that have happened over the last 50, 75 years?
Well, I think the present worry about the planet is probably as significant as anything about the warming problem.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think, what's your, based on what you've read or what you've studied, where do you think that's headed? And do you think that humans are powerful enough, to affect that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm afraid they've done a very good job. And no matter what we do, sea level is going to go up a meter. And it's a question of when that we don't know, but unavoidable.
And that's going to affect a lot of coastal communities all around the globe.
Yes, indeed. More than 100 million people. And what are you going to do with them? How are we going to find a place for them to live?
100 million people that would be affected.
At least, more than that.
So for the kids out there that are watching, and there's a lot of kids that, that pay attention to our program because there's a lot of, action sports and skiing and surfing and stuff like that. What's the most important thing that they can do to help get things headed in the right direction as far as preserving the oceans and preserving our planet?
I think they ought to try and learn what's going on. There's been an awful lot of controversy by those who say that nothing's going to happen. And it's not a matter of what you believe, and it's a matter of finding out what the facts are. And I think the scientists are partly to blame for not making clear what's not understood. There are lots and lots of things we don't understand. But I think we do know enough to know that the warming is going to take place and the sea level is going to go up. The rate is not clear, but it's going to happen.
And talking about stuff that we don't know about the oceans, the oceans are really still a pretty big mystery.
Yes.
Arguably even more mysterious than outer space. There's probably a lot of stuff down there that we haven't discovered. That's still probably pretty exciting for a guy like you.
It certainly is. And the sea level problem depends on something we don't know anything about. The glaciers come down in Greenland and Antarctica, and they go into the ocean until they come off the bottom at a place called the grounding line, and then they go out as floating ice sheets for another 100 miles. And the ocean under those ice sheets is a piece of ocean covered by a kilometer of ice where nobody has ever been. And I don't think we have the faintest idea what it's like. And to some extent, the riddle as to what's going to happen is dependent on understanding what's happening in that ocean cavern.
The unknown.
Ocean cavern covered by ice.
So you've seen a lot of stuff in your years in the ocean and on land. Of the stuff that you've seen in the ocean, of all the creatures in the sea, do you have a favorite?
Oh, I don't know. Good. I don't think I have a favorite. I think they're wonderful, and I think what I admire is the diversity of what's going on in the ocean, not a particular species, but they're wonderful species, beautiful to behold.
And it is amazing, the colors and the life that you find under there. And there's some amazing people that capture that. One of whom I think you had a chance to meet last week or a few weeks ago, Wyland,
Yes.
who's a wonderful artist and a great ambassador for the oceans with what he does with children, which we saw him doing today and painting a mural. What do you think of guys like that and what they're doing for ocean awareness?
I think they're doing a good job for ocean awareness, and we had the pleasure of him coming to our house for dinner, and he's full of beans and has all sorts of interests. And do a lot of good.
Yeah, you probably didn't know that he was once a Golden Gloves boxer.
No, I didn't know that.
I found that out the hard way.
He really was.
Yeah, he's actually really good with his fists, and he's also good with his fingers and the paintbrush too. So you've I'm assuming done a lot of stuff outside of ocean research and ocean related things. What else do you like to do? What other hobbies have you had over the years?
Oh, I used to love going skiing, and
true Austrian.
Well, yes, I think that's what got me to America, actually, and I enjoy living by the beach. We have nothing between our house and the ocean, so I can get to look at sunsets every night, watch for the green flash, Have you seen the green flash?
You know, I saw it once in Hawaii, which was kind of
But
cool.
never again?
I haven't seen it since then, but I've got hopefully a few years left. I'll try to catch another couple.
You'd better.
What do you think is more important, continuing to explore outer space or continuing to explore undersea?
That's not a good question. You got to do both.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
You have to do both. You don't want to make a either or argument here. People have learned a great deal about space, learned wonderful things in the last 20 years, 30 years, but you got to do both. And they help each other, actually. As we learn about space, we learn about the oceans, to some extent, vice versa. I'm Walter Munk, and I recommend you watch Planet XYZ and enjoy it.